Welcome back to, what am I calling this video? You'll see the title. Anyway, so basically I'm doing a replacement only no-buy in 2019, and this is your formal introduction to that. So, also I have notes in this notebook, that's why I'm looking down. So like a lot of people on YouTube and on Reddit and a lot of other places, I'm doing no-buy, low-buy for 2019, and I'm doing it for makeup and skincare obviously, but I'm also doing it for other things in my life as well, for yarn and notebooks and pens and things like that. So I have a couple of rules. I'm not allowed to buy any new lotions, any new notebooks, any jewelry, brushes, bronzers, blushes, eyeshadows of any sort, because I have way too many of all of those. Pens, same thing. Reading material, knitting supplies, any kind of bag, knitting bag, makeup bag, regular bag, no. So buying none of that during 2019. If I get any gifts of that nature, I can accept them. If it's something like a gift card to Ulta, then I apply the money towards buying a replacement mascara or whatever it's running out. So the items that are allowed are brow products, mascara, moisturizer, highlighter, and eyeliner. These are the items that I go through the quickest, and they have the fewest items in those categories. So I'm going to only replace those items when I run out of them. And there are a couple of categories that I have a couple of items. This is for rule number 3. So things like red lip, any color of lipstick really. So I have 4 major categories: red, pink, dark, and nude or natural colored lipsticks, lip balms, foundations, eye primer, face primer, and perfume. In those categories I have like 2 to 3 items, but I go through them a little bit slower. So I need to finish each item in that category before I can buy a new one. So I need to finish both of my face primers before I can buy a new one. I need to finish both of my red lipsticks before I can buy one new red lipstick. Or all 3 or 4 of my pink lipsticks before I can buy one new pink lipstick. That kind of thing. And again, no new notebooks, no new pens, no new stationery of any kind. That's rule number 4. And then rule number 5 is I can purchase 1 new pair of running shoes and 1 complete new work outfit. Because I know my running shoes are kind of dying, so I know I'm probably going to need a new pair of running shoes at some point. And then the 1 complete work outfit, I can buy 1 pair of trousers, 1 top, and 1 new pair of shoes, basically. And then rule 6 is for yarn, because yarn is an interesting in-between consumable. Where it is a consumable, I will run through it, but I have a tendency to fall in love with projects I see on Ravelry and fall in love and be like, I can definitely make that in a reasonable time. I'm gonna buy the pattern, I'm gonna buy the yarn, and then I never make use of either of those. So, but I do knit a lot, I do crochet a lot, so I do need to work things out of my collection, but I also need to regulate just what's coming in. So for yarn, I'm going to be doing a 2 out, 1 in system. So I need to finish 2 skeins of yarn before I can bring in 1 skein. And this ends on the end of 2019. So I'm also going to the UK in January, and I know I'm probably going to want to buy at least some yarn there. So what I've done so far for that is, because it is January, I've made note of the amount of yarn I finished up since about October or so, and so that'll be my 2 out 1 in system for yarn for January, and then the clock will reset February 1st and then run through December 31st to buy new yarn in 2019. But yeah, so those are my rules. Why am I doing this? So I wrote out a few reasons for things. Reason number 1 is just simply to decrease the amount of stuff I have in my life, because I have quite a lot. And to replace the items, the tangible items, with more intangible items, more travel to see my boyfriend, more travel in general, more chances to go out with friends and family and stuff like that. And I would only like to purchase what I need as I need it, rather than stocking up and using backups and things like that. And just consisting of things that I actually use, rather than like, oh, I would use this kind of thing at some point, probably, but like, when is some point, you know? And reason number 3, I want to save money. Like, I've bought a lot of things over the course of 2018, and then either regifted them or donated them or tossed them out if they get really, really bad, just because and I've only done it like halfway through the product or a little ways into the product, and I want to stop doing that. And again, going back to the use what I have and buy as I need it, rather than buying in advance and stocking up and then it goes bad and I can't use it, or whatever the reason is. And so I just want to get value out of my collection and save money by not buying ahead of what I need. And tagging off of that, number 4 is to actually use up what I own. Like, I have so many items that I just I have and I like, and again with the some point thing, I'll use it at some point. I have a Brights palette that I'll use specifically for Pride and very rarely otherwise. But this applies for things like yarn as well. Like, I went to Peru 5 years ago and got some really cool yarn there, and I've been saving it for special occasions, and I'll use this at some point, but it's hard to match the gauge for street market yarn in Peru when I'm going to a store in America. And so I really need to stop holding on to things that aren't getting used specifically because they're special occasion or because they're special. Like, I want to be able to make something with that Peruvian yarn and say like, oh yeah, I got this yarn in Peru and it was really cool, and that kind of thing. Yeah, reason number 5 is sort of what I've been saying so far, is just like, my relationship with buying and spending in general is very weird. Like, I sometimes will window shop and buy for the fun of it, and again, buy ahead of what I actually need instead of buying a thing, using that thing up, and then buying a new one. I'll like buy a thing and then use it halfway, and then buy a new thing in that similar category, and so on and so on, and now I have a bunch of half-used eyeliners or whatever, and I want to shift that into a way where I buy it when I need it. Like, I don't need the number of eyeshadow palettes and eyeshadow singles that I have, and so I want to hold off buying a blue eyeshadow single until I've used up most of the blue eyeshadows in my Brights palette, or whatever the item is. So changing that relationship to from buying in advance because it's cool and pretty and I think I'll use it, to I've used this thing up and I need a new one, so therefore I'm going to buy that new thing. So Going forward in 2019, I'm going to have this quarterly goal chart, for lack of a better term. It's one part project pen and one part trying to do other things and finish other things that I want to actually do in 2019, and I will be shooting a video just after this talking about that and introducing that, so stay tuned for that video. But that's all for my no-buy introduction for 2019. Hopefully you'll join me, and I will see y'all in my next one. Bye!